When I'm trading futures, I like to focus on trading my own live funds first. I found that because we can use a relatively small amount of money to get a lot of leverage in the futures market, that I'm pretty comfortable maintaining a small account, a relatively small account anyway, to really do my income and my day-to-day futures trading in. So at the same time, there is a time and place for prop firms, and even I know that. So I do like using prop firms to, expand my leverage and be able to put more risk on in the market without really taking on so much personal risk. So, and that way, the whole idea of a prop firm is really, really great. Unfortunately, there are a lot of really predatory and scammy prop firms out there that are kind of telling traders that, you have to trade this way, it has to be done that way. And I don't like that at all. Anybody who's telling you that you can only trade with one prop firm or one funding program, or you can only be in one trading group, or you can only follow one guru strategy is full of it, and you shouldn't listen to them. You should be able to explore lots of different options and find the best fit for you. So, how do you pick a prop firm in this sea of gurus and scams and everything else that is just flying at us in all directions in the financial area of the internet? So let's talk about how to pick a prop firm without getting scammed and losing sight of things and all of that. So I will at the end tell you which new prop firm that I have decided to work with for now and why. And I will also give y'all access to some giveaways at the very end. But first, let's talk about kind of what we're looking for as traders, so that you kind of have a checklist to go through when you're shopping for prop firms yourself. So the obvious is, what kind of funding do you get access to? And you have to pay attention to the fine print here, because the marketing departments are all calling these 50K accounts and 100K accounts. And you need to dive into the details and look at what your drawdown is, because whatever that drawdown is on the account is what you have to work with. So those are the funds that you're fighting for. You need to look for it on both the evaluation account. That's how much you have to work with when you're trying to earn the account. Whether, I don't care what they call it. It can be an evaluation, a test, whatever it is. Look at how much you have to work with on that account, but then also look ahead to how much you'll be able to have to work with when you get to the live account, because it's not going to be $50,000 to trade with. You're going to have a much smaller amount to work with. The thing is, they're using discount futures brokers where there's just kind of a ridiculous amount of leverage during the day, as long as you don't hold overnight over settlement. So, we can control one ES contract with $500 or one NASDAQ contract with $1,000, which is why I have a relatively small self-funded account that I'm able to do really well with. And these prop firms would kind of be a duplication of that account where I can copy my trades and leverage up. So that's what I'm paying attention to is in that allowed drawdown, is there room for me to copy trades even if I'm downscaling them to micros or minis or something, or from micros to minis or something like that. The other thing, of course, we need to look at is the profit share. So not just the profit share, you want to pay attention to how much you get to keep, but a lot of them are being kind of in the same range and pretty competitive, so pay attention to that. But you also need to look at the payout structure, because the goal here is to get to the funded account, and once we're in a funded account, do we have to jump through a ton of crazy hoops? Or can we just withdraw on, a relatively normal thing and just kind of worry about a profit share instead of getting X, Y, Z, A, B, C, all these crazy things taken care of, in addition to being able to pull off trading profitably, because that's hard enough on its own, right? Then we get into the rules and how the challenge is structured and what kind of freedoms you have in there. And I'll tell you, for me personally, y'all tell me if this is different for you. Kind of my number one thing right now is not having intraday drawdown. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, we have the allowed drawdown on the account. So if it's our own funds and we have a $2,000 account, our allowed drawdown is going to be $2,000, because then it's zero. But that's the way you need to think of your allowed drawdown on the funded account too. So if you have a trail, you should have a trailing drawdown. So it's going to keep moving. It's kind of like you withdraw your profits at the end of the day and always kind of reset it back to 2000 or whatever it is. A normal end of day trailing drawdown works just like that, where you're resetting your account. The intraday trailing drawdown is the one that makes trading prop firms really, really, really hard, especially when we come in with too much leverage, because it's based on your unrealized profits. So if you let a trade run $1,000 into profit and you have a $2,000 intraday trailing drawdown, it's trailing your unrealized profits, but the market comes right back down and you take profit at $500. You've lost $500, the other $500 in your trailing drawdown. So now your trailing drawdown is only $1,500. Do that a few more times, you're done. So I really like the end-of-day drawdown, where it's structured a lot more like a normal regular account that I've been trading my own futures account and even options or stocks or whatever else. It just makes sense. It's how accounts work. And of course, okay, this is a major thing that everyone pays attention to, and of course it's cost. But there are a lot of hidden costs in the prop firms. So in addition to the cost of the challenge or the evaluation or the test or whatever it's called, you need to look at the monthly renewals and the resets and the activation fees. So the monthly or the regular evaluation cost, if you don't pass it within those 30 days, you're probably going to be renewing it. And a lot of these prop firms are offering these crazy specials all the time, where it's just like clearance house special, but that's kind of what their normal pricing is. So you'll end up getting an account for 80, 70, 80, 90% off, and it'll end up being 20, 30, 40 bucks, something like that. But that's not the actual cost of it, because then you have any resets that you do, any renewals, and the activation. So let's pretend it's a perfect world and you pass it the first try, and you get a really, really great deal. It's $20. The account's $20. And then you have to pay, then you pass it first try. You don't have to renew it the next month. If you go to turn that into a funded account, they're going to charge you an activation fee. So even if everything's on sale, we've got the activation fee on sale and the account's on sale, and we have a great time trading. We get it all done the first month. It's not a $20 account. It's a $170 account. So that's just something to kind of pay attention to. Look at the cost for the entire thing, especially if you have to renew it, because a lot of these will renew at a higher rate. You get the special the first month, then it renews. So pay attention to that. The other thing that I like to pay attention to is what platforms that I can trade on. The second prop firm that I tried kind of locked me into a platform that I didn't really like using, and so for that reason they were just out. But so I think that the prop firm should meet traders where they are if they're an existing trader, and offer some options for new traders. I know when I was first starting, I had to play around with some different platforms to kind of figure out what worked best for me personally, and I had a bunch of people breathing down my neck saying this platform's best, that platform's best. But what was best was me getting to kind of play with it for a few weeks and see what I was able to click the buttons on best, So there's that too. Some of them are starting to limit you to their own proprietary platform. And I don't mind if they have a proprietary platform. I just don't want to be locked into it. I like having the options of different platforms. Okay, and then of course, reliability and stability are another big one. People get really nervous after reading about all of kind of the scammy stuff that goes on online, because a lot of places have denied payouts, especially in forex. So if you come from forex, you're probably like running away with your leg between your tails right now. But there are more regulations in futures than there are in forex. There are definitely fewer regulations on prop firms than there are on brokers, so like a real live funded account. So there still can be some shady business, and there's a lot of gurus running scams out there where it's just a kind of, it's not even a real prop firm. There's no live funds being dealt with anywhere. It's just collecting activation fees for paper accounts. So it makes a lot of sense to be really cautious. So you need to look at who has a good reputation online. You need to look at who doesn't disconnect a lot. I've worked with some prop firms that just disconnect constantly, and they have outages all the time. So I go through all the work of coming up with a fabulous plan for the day, and then the market goes and it's like living the dream, playing out perfectly, and I'm not in it because my prop firm disconnected. So that's the other reason I love having my own personal fund too. But Then at the other end of it, so as home resale traders, it can get kind of lonely. And I know that sounds cliche and everything, but it's real, especially after you start doing this for a few years. And that's why, that's why I'm here on YouTube. That's why I'm in the Trading Ranch on for our Discord too, just because I want to be able to reach out to other people and actually talk to some real people. And some of these prop firms, it's just like a brick wall. So it's just very corporate. It's very business. It's like a cattle call at best. It's like you never even see a real live person. And I guess it's not like that I have to have that from my prop firm, but it sure helps. It sure puts a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling. So, I want somewhere that I can be long term. And a lot of these are kind of fly by night places. We'll put that as another point. But you want somewhere that you feel comfortable being with long term, that's not just going to take the money and run, that's looking to develop something big over the long term. So as you know, I've been looking for a new firm and I've tried out a lot of them. I haven't even told y'all about all the ones that I've tried yet. I would love to if y'all want to, so let me know. But I did find, hopefully, I have found my new prop firm home. And let me tell you why I picked them, kind of using that same thought process that I just took you through. So, at My Funded Futures, this is the prop firm that I'm giving a shot, and let me tell you why. First of all, let's look at the funding options, and they'll look pretty familiar. Everyone kind of has the same basic thing that they're offering in these 50K accounts. But like I told you, we're looking at how much you really have to work with. So that would be our trailing drawdown. It's $2,000. So this is they have a bunch of different plans. If I have a criticism, this is a lot to go through at first. I was overwhelmed with it at first, but then I started going through and it makes a lot of sense. So the Starter Plus is kind of the main one. Start here. Start at the Starter Plus. This is probably what you're most familiar with. If you want to go faster than that, they have these expert plans and the eval to live. And if you take a look at these, basically what you're doing, they cost more, but you're spending more money to skip time and have rules that are a little bit more favorable to some advanced traders who have already passed evaluations and all of that. And then on the other end of the spectrum, they have the starter account that is just the bargain basement, great deal. But most people will probably end up here. So this is the starter plus package. So let's talk about profit share and getting paid. So one of the things that is really important to me is that payouts and profit share be really, really straightforward. So it is. So you get to keep your first $10,000 of withdrawals, and then it's a 90-10 split after that, which is pretty competitive and pretty good. There are some minimums that you have to reach, but it's really, really simple. I know you have to watch out for consistency rules on the funded accounts, but you also have to watch out for these crazy schedules where you have to trade profitably, jump through all these hoops, go through the tunnel, over the bridge, around and through. There's a lot of consistency rules. Some of them you have to have these minimums. This one you do have to have a minimum for 5 days. It's $100. So you have to have five $100 or more days to actually get paid out in your funded account. What you're working with, because I told you all that is really important. They have the $2,000 trailing drawdown on the 50K account. I'm going to use that one as the example. I always pick on the 50K account. So on the eval, you have the $2,000 end of day drawdown. Once you move to a live account, you have $2,500. And I know this is different, but it actually makes a lot of sense to me, because if you have a $2,500 account at Trade-A-Bait or Ninja and they're letting you trade one ES with $500, and you have $2,000 of trailing drawdown, if you screw up enough where you're down $2,000 on a $2,500 account, you only have $500 left, and that's actually not even enough to control one ES mini, because as soon as you enter it, you're down by commissions and you're out. So that maths to me. But anyway, so let's talk about the rules a little bit. The rules are pretty straightforward. You have to hit this profit target. So on the 50K, it's $3,000 without drawing down more than $2,000. And this is trailing, but let's talk about the important thing. This is trailing at the end of the day, like real normal funds do, and not imaginary try to steal your money accounts where your drawdown shrinks every time you place a trade. So that's end of day. And the other big thing, and I had this over on the screen, they are trying to get people access to live funds. They're not trying to keep you on sim. They're trying to put people in live funds the way prop accounts actually are supposed to work. So thank you. So I mentioned cost earlier. Let's talk about that. So the 50K account that I'm going to pick on is $127. And they do have specials. So if you use the coupon code 𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗁, and I'll also put a link down here in the description too, that should give you whatever the current special is. So there may or may not be a special on this account or one of these other accounts right now, but if there is, you'll get it with that code. They don't discount them as heavily and as crazy as everybody else, but they still end up cheaper for people who can do basic math. So let me show that to you. So you're spending $127. We had the $20 account earlier. It's not going to end up being $20, but I'm giving that to the comment section just for fun because you're going to end up putting tax and whatever else on it. But so let's call it a $20 account. You're spending $127 on this. Let's say you earn the account. That's our goal here. So we earn the account. So then we go to pay our activation fee. So the other one had a $150 activation fee, which I was being very fair with. And this one has $0 activation fee. So I hate that. I get the email, yay, you've passed. Here, give us some more money. So I don't have to do that with my funded futures. I just sign up for the account and then we're done. I don't have to go pay an activation fee. So when we did that math earlier, I wasn't counting tax. I wasn't counting resets. I wasn't counting having to renew. It was $170. Now we're in for $127 without getting even a special on this account. So it ends up being cheaper. The platforms make me happy. It's what I need. I've got NinjaTrader and Trade-A-Bait. That's where my personal funds are. And I'm set up on NinjaTrader where I can run some automations, both with brackets and with some strategies and things. And I can also copy my trades between different brokers and different accounts. So I love being able to access my funded futures accounts there. It keeps everything really simple for me. If I wanted to trade on Trade-A-Bait, if I needed to go on the web, I can do that as well. The NinjaTrader and Trade-A-Bait accounts, they're the same company. You get access to them in both places. If you want to trade on TradingView, you can. They have Quant Tower, and anyone that you can get these normal data feeds to, you can trade with the My Funded Futures accounts. They are coming out with their own proprietary platform, which makes sense. They're a prop firm. What I'm hoping, I haven't seen anything yet, but what I'm hoping is it has some actual proprietary information that as a trader I'll be able to use. The thing is, back to like wanting some real people, I do know that they are listening to actual traders and trying to actually offer something different that's not a copy of everything else. As far as reliability, I haven't been with them, so I can't speak for the long term. But since I have been trading with them it's been a little over a month now, I guess. I do get disconnects, but not any more than I get with my actual live funded NinjaTrader account. I haven't had any of these big outages. That's not to say that they never have them. They might, but I think when your priority is getting people into live funds, you have a different, more reliable connection, hopefully, than if you're just putting people into sim accounts all day long. So I don't know if that's true. That's Barbie conspiracy theory here. And so the reputation is really, really important. And this is going to kind of tie into the next thing, but I haven't been able to dig up any dirt or skeletons on these guys. Like they have names behind the company. You can go look these people up. They're legit. And on to that, these are real people. So in dealing with some of these prop firms, it's just been a wall, and I've asked really simple, really normal things, and I get canned responses back that are long and don't answer my question, if I get a response at all. So I'm pretty much over that. But there are real people, and I know this from a little bit different perspective than some of y'all will, because as you may or may not know, I've been working on the brand new My Funded TV over on the My Funded Futures channel. And so I've gotten to kind of know some of the My Funded Futures people behind the scenes. And what I can tell you is they are reaching out regularly to the community, trying to look for new ways to engage with traders to offer them the tools that they actually need, because they actually want to be your prop firm. They're actually looking for talent. They actually want to put people in live funds. And in order to do that, they need to reach out and find you guys. And one of the things that they're doing is the My Funded TV. And I think they have some other things in the pipeline as well. So that helps me. I know I have an option for a community where I can actually reach out to these people and get help. And if I need things, it's not just a blank wall. It's people I can actually talk to. So I did say that I was going to give y'all a giveaway. Here's the deal. Sometimes I go to these videos and it's like, well, I can't do the giveaway because that video was 2 months ago and the giveaway is over. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the giveaway at 𝗂𝗏𝗵𝗁.com, and I'm going to have one that is going to do a quick giveaway so that people who watch this video in the first week can get entered. And just for watching this video, you can have a chance to win a My Funded Futures account. I don't want to limit it just to people who get to watch this video when it first comes out. So I'm going to have some ongoing giveaways at 𝗂𝗏𝗵𝗁.com, and I'll find some fun things to do with some milestones, both for the YouTube channel and for our community or something like that. But we'll do some more giveaways and we'll make it more regular. So I'm going to put those over there. Sorry to make you hop over to the website, but 𝗂𝗏𝗵𝗁.com. I want to help y'all get going with My Funded Futures, and so I'm hoping that I can give y'all some accounts away there. And on that note, I want to say thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed the video, please do all the like and subscribe taxes. It really helps, and share in your Discord communities and things. I am trying to grow the channel right now, so I would really love and appreciate that. And I might have some more giveaways for people who help me out with that sort of thing as well. Until next time I see you, have a really great rest of your trading day, week, month, and I love you. Take care. I'll see you soon.